Hey, how's it going? How you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Talking Tommyrot. As always, brought to you in partnership with Oreo Designs. Mr. Jace Oreo created the logo and the artwork for the show. So for graphic design needs, hit him up at Oreo Designs on Instagram, ORIO. Build better business, grow better business, and just have a better business with great design. And follow me on Instagram too, at GarzaNate, or search the hashtag Talking Tommyrot. We'll get this thing rolling, you know what I'm saying? You feel me, guys? You feel me? Anyways, we're going to do today's show a little bit different with those little promotions there, but hey, it is what it is. Hi, welcome. I hope everybody had a fun week. We're recording in the nighttime tonight, so I don't know when you're listening to this, probably in the daytime, so have a good day too. But anyways, yeah, my last episode, I got super fucking sick. I threw up a bunch, so that kind of sucked. I got like a mad stomach bug. I don't know what the hell it was. Like literally just lost like 5 or 6 pounds, dude, just yakking. And then it was coming out both ends. Like it was legitimately, I haven't been sick like that since, when was the Emancipation Proclamation? 1800, something like that. That's the last time I was sick like that. So, that kind of sucked. But I'm back, fully fledged, fully fucking tanked, fully torqued. Torkenstein. Fucking fully torqued. Today, I want to talk about something that's kind of been on my mind lately. With the new, I've heard a lot of hype for Aquaman, that it's a really good movie, so that's exciting to hear. But also, I want to go over what the main problems with the current state of DC films is. DC Comics, their movies. Since Man of Steel, so in this new extended or whatever you want to call it universe, I think they call it Worlds of DC now, so that's kind of weird. But whatever, it hasn't been the best, and it hasn't been as well received as a lot of their past movies, especially the Dark Knight trilogy with Christian Bale. So what is the problem with those movies? Why don't people like them as much? Why don't critics like them as much? Mostly because they're shit. They're not that bad though. They can be bad. So, like I said, Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy was really like, I mean, it was off the wall good. You know, it's really hard to try to top that. So The Dark Knight Rises, that was the last of that trilogy, ended in 2012, or that movie came out in 2012, and then they started the new universe in 2013 with Man of Steel. It's, I'll be completely honest, when I first saw Man of Steel, and I still like it, I liked it a lot. I wasn't as well versed in Superman as I am now, back at that time. So, give me some credit. I don't think it's a horrible film. I don't think Henry Cavill's a bad Superman. That movie just didn't feel as much like a Superman movie as the old ones did, and just not what you were expecting. But I don't know. I thought it wasn't a horrible start, and I saw a bright future when that movie came out. So like, it came out to not a whole bunch of people liking it. I still talk to people today who are like, "Oh, that's a shit movie," and it's not the best. It's definitely not the best. None of these fucking movies are the best. These DC movies kind of suck. Kind of suck a little bit. Honestly, these new ones, like, they're just trying to catch up to Marvel, and that's the worst thing. That's probably the worst thing that is happening to them. Excuse me. But it's like, dang, dude, stop trying to catch up and just do your thing. So anyways, we start with Man of Steel. It's not a horrible movie. I think the main thing I didn't like about that was they didn't have the way they didn't have kryptonite in it was a little bit weird. Superman's dad, Kevin Costner, his character, like Clark, or excuse me, not Clark, Kent, the Kent father, he was not that believable. He was kind of when he died in the tornado and he just got sucked up and he wouldn't let Superman save him. No. First of all, no. Superman would just immediately shoot right after him and get him right out of that tornado and save him, and he wouldn't give a fuck about what anybody saw. Like, the whole fact that he was trying to save his father was trying to like save him from the rest of humanity because they weren't ready for him. That didn't work. It still didn't work. When humanity knew about Superman, they used him as hope in the next future movies. So that kind of just went away. That whole notion just was scrapped. I didn't like that. And like, I don't know. I just feel like it was like rushed, kind of. For such a large production and rebooting a Superman movie, I just felt that a little bit more time should have been spent on where it was going to go from there. Like, there's still no Man of Steel sequel. I know there's Batman vs. Superman and Justice League, but those aren't, those are as much Superman movies as there are anybody else's, but those aren't technically titled Superman movies, so it's kind of weird. Like, they should have just, like with Marvel, they kind of fleshed out. They had Iron Man, then the Hulk, then Iron Man 2, then all those other guys. So Iron Man had a couple films. The guy who started it had a couple films that kind of went in succession, or secession. It kind of, just flowed a little bit better. So, like, Man of Steel wasn't a horrible start. I saw a brighter future when I saw that movie because I just thought it was going to go in a different direction than Marvel was going to go. But in the next movie, it just seemed like they were trying to catch up. The next movie being Batman vs. Superman, which I was fucking hyped on, dude. When I heard that movie was coming out, I was hyped. I have them tattooed on me. I have Batman and Superman tattooed on me. Okay? When I heard that movie was coming out, I was erect for 6 months. I just had a constant nerd boner, a nerdoner. You feel me? Okay? When I heard that movie was coming out, I like envisioned that day happening. I was ready for it. And then it came out, and I saw it. Duh. I'm obviously going to watch that. Regardless of if the superhero movie I know is going to be bad, I'm going to go watch it. I'm going to go watch it on opening night. That's just my obligation as a nerd, as a high caliber nerd as myself. That's just your obligation. So, I fucking went to see this movie with pretty high hopes. It started off with the like droll scene of Batman and his parents, and it was like a slow song, like a slow, like touchy-feely song to start the movie off. And it was really weird, and just like the tone wasn't right. And then it was super, super dark the rest of the movie, like obvious, like literally and figuratively. Like the movie they put a fucking dark filter on their cameras. That's probably one of the main fucking problems that I have, is that they have the darkest fucking filter possible on these goddamn cameras. I don't know what they're putting on it, but I hate it. Lighten it up. They did try to lighten it up, and it looks shitty. We'll get to that. Ugh. DC's got a bad taste in my mouth, man. But I'm getting, so when I'm watching Batman vs. Superman, I'm getting that they're trying to go for a darker tone. I'm okay with that. It's DC, it's Batman, it's Superman. And then the rest of the story is just rushed. If it was just Batman versus Superman, and it was just Batman being mad at Superman for the destruction that he caused in Man of Steel and killing, a lot of Batman's associates and employees, and if they would have kept it at just them two fighting, and that's it, and they would have kept that at 2.5 hours and fleshed that out a bit more, would have been a better movie. I keep kicking the camera, I'm sorry. Would have been a better movie. But the fact that they added so much more and tried to just cram so much in it made the story suffer, made the whole thing just suffer. Like, it just was a suffering little sufferer the whole fucking time. So like I said, like Batman being mad at Superman for that shit it's fine. That's fine. I get that. And them fighting, that's fine. But them cramming all of that, them fighting, and then Wonder Woman being there, Wonder Woman conveniently finding all the files on Lex Luthor's computer of the upcoming Justice League members. Why was Wonder Woman like even contacted? Like it just didn't flow as it didn't flow correctly, and they were trying to cram so much into it. Like I know Iron Man 2 introduced Black Widow, but they only introduced Black Widow and that's it. And they had War Machine. And that but it wasn't shoved down your throat. Those happened organically. In Batman vs Superman, I don't feel like any of the characters' relationships happened organically outside of Batman and Superman. And Ben Affleck as Batman is not the best choice. That's probably one of the main problems. Ben Affleck as Batman is not the best choice. He's not. He could play a different superhero. He could play, I don't know. He's just not a good Batman. Jake Gyllenhaal has been my pick. Fucking put Bubble Boy in that mask, dude. He'll probably do good as fuck. Or the dad on This Is Us. I don't know if anybody watches This Is Us. My fucking parents watch it all the time. I don't know his name. Milo, some shit like that. But that motherfucker could play Batman too. Ben Affleck sucks dick at playing Batman. He's okay in other things. He's okay. He's a good director too, but shitty at playing Batman. Anyways, it was shoved. They shoved so much down your throat in that movie that you fucking lost it all. Doomsday coming in didn't make any sense. Lex Luthor's presence in the film was weird, and Jesse Eisenberg's performance as Lex Luthor was fucking weird. That was like the Riddler, dude. He was like, look at this. Two strong gentlemen in a room about to shake hands. Look at me with my red hair and a fuckload of money. Jesse Eisenberg, you're such a good actor. What were you going for? What were you going for, bub? Let's have a chat about that. Are you going to be in any more of the movies? No. I doubt. Are they going to make any more of the movies? We'll see. But you fucked up with that performance choice, bub. That's another problem I had with the movie is just some of the casting choices were off. I thought that Gal Gadot, however you say her name, she's a beautiful, beautiful woman, and I didn't think she'd be a good Wonder Woman. She ended up being pretty good, obviously. The film did well, but I just think they rushed things, especially in Batman vs. Superman. And then that movie ended with Superman dying by Doomsday, so they shoved Doomsday into that equation just to kill Superman, or what? Like that's the only reason he came about. Batman could have killed him. And don't even get me started. Oh God, about like this. Look, when Superman was like, must save Martha, and Batman was like, what? Why'd you say that name? Why do you know that you know that name? Fuck off. Fuck off. That's what stopped Batman from shoving a kryptonite spear up fucking Superman's ass, is that they have the same mom's name. Lazy writing. Count me out. We're not talking about Batman vs. Superman anymore. We're done with it. On to the next. Fuck off. Suicide Squad. As soon as I saw it was coming out, I was like, nope. No. Why? Why are they doing this? What's the purpose of this movie? Nothing. Has anything come out of that movie? No. Anything good? No. Nothing. Horrible movie. Casting? Pretty off. Will Smith as Deadshot? Okay, that's fine. But Deadshot in the comic books is an Australian white dude. So a little bit weird, but I'm okay with it. Some versions of Deadshot. I know a lot of versions of him are black. I get that. That's fine. And that's okay. But the main version is an Australian white guy. And he's pretty cool. Will Smith plays him pretty cool. And I'm okay with it. But that's like pretty much the only shining spot of that movie. Him and Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Miss Harley Quinn was pretty good. She's not bad. She plays her well, and I'll give her the credit there. But talk about rushed. That movie was really rushed. Like, really, really rushed. Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie. It was... As soon as it started, so it started with everybody having their own little intros. Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Boomerang, all those fucks having their little intros. And they all, guess what? They all got their own separate classic rock song as an introduction within the first 5 minutes of the movie. No. That's tacky as fuck. David Ayer, you made a good movie. You made End of Watch. And then you go and make this shit. This shit. Horrible. As soon as that tacky bullshit happened in the fucking first 5 minutes, I was like, well, I should go return my ticket right now. Fuck this movie. And it just kept getting fucking worse. The characters were not fleshed out well. The Joker was fucking horrible. Jared Leto, fuck off. You guys already know how much I hate Jared Leto. We're not even going to get into how horrible his performance was. But the movie didn't need to happen. Didn't serve a purpose at all, except to give you a team of bad guys that went up against a villain that didn't even... People want to talk shit about fucking Marvel's villain problem? No. Who has been name one DC villain from the movies? What was that guy's... What was the girl's name? What was the fucking villain's name in Suicide Squad? Anybody? Fuck. They're just rushing shit out, and I hate it. So Suicide Squad fucking sucked, and that movie was just made for money, and it didn't make any money. So I hope you learned your lesson. But they didn't. But they may have a little bit, because they pumped out those 3 turds. I hate that word turd, but I said it for those. Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad. Man of Steel was okay, Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, fucking huge shit in the toilet. Okay? But there was some saving grace in this motherfucker right here. Fighting. Dude, that theme song gets me hype. That theme song gets me hype as fuck. God damn it, whoever wrote that shit. Fuck yeah, that shit was awesome. But I'm talking about Wonder Woman, okay? Good shit on. That was a pretty good movie, all right? I'll give it to you. I'll give that a solid 7.5 out of 10. Closer to a 7.9 out of 10. Wonder Woman was not that bad. Not horrible. Pretty good. They did good of showing Wonder Woman using her true powers, which was nice. They didn't girl her down, which I thought was going to happen with the casting of such a beautiful thin woman, which is not a problem. It's just that when you think of Wonder Woman in live action, you just think of a bigger woman, a more muscular woman, just to convey the point of power across. But the way she utilizes her powers in the movies, shows... it gives her that power. So the casting choice, at first I was like, no way, but now obviously she's great. Everybody loves her as Wonder Woman. And I just think they utilized her character really well in the movie. It was set back in the day in like 1911 or whatever, so that was a good call there as well. There wasn't a lot of flaws with Wonder Woman, just some of the Amazons having different accents and shit was kind of weird, but you can't really gripe about that. I think the story was really well written. I guess, yeah, really the main gripe I had was fucking Ares. They had Nigel Thornberry fucking play Ares, which was definitely, that was an unneeded twist in the movie to have that weird old guy play or end up being the God of War Ares, just in a different like body or whatever. I didn't like it. It was super super weird, and like definitely made me laugh in the theater when they showed Ares under his mask and it's got like a red mustache. It was just weird. Nigel Thornberry for sure played Ares. But yeah, I mean, Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine, was really good in that movie. Their chemistry between him and Gal Gadot was really good. I thought it was a good movie. It got me hype as fuck. That theme song was tight as shit. It made me feel empowered. That was one of the first times in a DC movie that I got goosebumps in the theater. That shit happens to me every Marvel movie I watch. I get so fucking hype I can jump out of my goddamn seat. And that happened to me in Wonder Woman. When she takes out that bell tower, boy. And when she's just fighting and shit, she's tight. She's tight as fuck. So Wonder Woman was definitely the only shining spot of the DC universe currently, without the release of Aquaman. I don't know yet. Haven't seen it yet. But that is definitely like the only shining spot of this universe. And all that's fine. Give it to him. But also, fucking, I think they rushed into the Justice League again after Wonder Woman. I just don't think the story of Justice League, it just didn't work well for me. And I'm having trouble getting the words out, but it felt rushed, of course, and it was a lot. It had a lot to do with the death of Superman. And I think my main problem with the story of Justice League is that they just needed a threat to come together. And it was such a unorganic threat. Like, Steppenwolf was a shitty fucking villain. He was a shitty villain. His motivations were shitty to collect the mother boxes. That's kind of like in collecting the Infinity Stones, but it took Thanos and Marvel 10 years to make the movies for him to collect the Infinity Stones. This motherfucker's trying to do it in 4 movies, and they're just literally copying Marvel in a worse way. That's the main problem with the DC movies, is they're copying Marvel in a worse way. Like, if you look at the time tracking, like Avengers 1 and Justice League, they match up as far as chronologically, like in the how many movies were made before Avengers, how many movies were made before Justice League. It's about the same. Marvel probably has a couple more under their belt before, but still. So they had the potential to make a good Justice League movie without it being so rushed. They could have introduced the Flash and Aquaman in Man of Steel. Something could have been addressed. Batman vs. Superman, a movie between Batman vs. Superman and Justice League to flesh out those characters more would have been much appreciated. And I fucking just really think that they got so scared by Marvel that they had to catch up. And Justice League is a real big, like, it's very obvious in Justice League that is apparent, or that was their goal. Is like they're like, fuck, we have to catch up, because their tone changed. I know Zack Snyder like dropped out halfway through it, and I think Zack Snyder is not a horrible director, but he's just not my style. So I was kind of happy about that. But then Joss Whedon came in and tried to make it too light. Like, you know how I said they had dark movies, and then Joss Whedon comes in and it fucking looks like Shark Boy and Lava Girl afterwards. Like, what the fuck happened there, dude? Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. What DC, they see the dollar signs that Marvel's getting, and they're trying to get that. And I understand that. That's fine. But fuck. But fucking Egypt. Dude, here's what I think. They need to just hit the reset button, because Justice League was a pretty bad movie. It was just poorly written. The villain was generic. The motivations were generic. And Superman basically came in and wiped the floor clean. They didn't even need the whole team. Just Superman could have done the entire movie himself, and he would have defeated the villain within 30 seconds. So, wouldn't have happened if Superman was alive, and that was like half the movie was them trying to get Superman. It was just, not the best. And I think that just the 100%, the main problem is that Marvel got to it first, and DC is trying to play catch up with the universe world. And if they can focus on more character driven and focus on solo heroes, I think they'll benefit from that. And we'll have to see with Aquaman coming up, because Jason Momoa as Aquaman, I think that's a great casting choice as well. And I think that he's going to do a great job in his own movie. James Wan's a pretty good director, so let's see what happens. It looks like Shark Boy and Lava Girl, but maybe it's intended to look like Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and I'll have to just swallow that and take it and worry about it later, because I want to see it, and I want DC to succeed. I want all comic book movies to be good. But Marvel is just wiping the floor with you, DC, so fucking step it up. Baby. Step that shit the fuck up. Like, come on. Step it up. Give me some good movies. Get rid of Ben Affleck as Batman. Focus on more character-driven movies and make your characters more relatable, which I think Aquaman is. I can't relate to Batman that much. Can't relate to Superman that much. But I can kind of relate to Aquaman because he seems like an outsider. I'm about to sneeze. I gotta catch this sneeze. Shit. This is the worst feeling when you have to sneeze and it won't come out. Oh, God, what the hell? Yeah. DC is playing catch-up, and they need to not play catch-up anymore and focus on what you do, baby. And that's make good characters. So do it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Just kidding, guys, but really appreciate you coming out and listening again. I love you all so fucking much. You can't even understand how much I do. I hope to hear from you about this episode. Let me know what you think is wrong with the DC movies, or if you think nothing's wrong with them, tell me that too. Tell me what you like about them. But holler at your boy. Holler at your boy. We'll come back next week. Like I said, I'm trying to get some guests on, you guys. So get ready, because I'm going to just fucking hit you guys up. You're going to get a random message. Hey, you want to get on Talking Tommyrot? And we're going to do it. So loosen up your vocal cords. Get them massaged. JK. Love you guys. Have an awesome weekend, weekday, week, whatever. Whenever you're listening to this, have a good one. I love you. And we'll see you there, or we'll see you on another time. Bye.